Hey guys, I'm Devin. This is,
UDK, Diago here. How are you?
and today we're going to talk about the one of our latest videos that we posted about the challenger decks for Commander.
Yes.
Um,
So what was the thought process behind it? Because I know we had like this idea of it, but when we released the video, the response was kind of mixed in terms of like some of our responses, especially from
Yeah. from actual cEDH players who go
Yeah.
to big events and everything.
Okay.
So the whole point of the decks was to introduce people to cEDH,
Oh,
not
100%.
to get people who have been playing cEDH a budget deck and then take it to a tournament.
Yeah.
No, this is for players who have been playing casual, who barely upgraded their precons and don't know necessarily what combos are, what necessarily where to interact and everything. This is for players who are able to build a budget cEDH deck.
Yeah.
Even though the format is proxy friendly, there is players who
There are still
only want to
shops.
play real cards.
But there's also shops that aren't proxy friendly.
Yes.
And so that becomes an issue. So the thought process was people who have no idea what they're doing, not to have them like go spend 2K on a deck to understand that they hate it, but to spend maybe 150, which we believe is a more reasonable amount, because most people spend around 150 on their decks anyways. Start out with something small and serviceable and bite-sized, and then grow into it. That's why we include cards that are like win cons and like powerful cards, but at the same time, we don't include stuff like your OG duels, which probably every player should have, but that would just make them more expensive for obvious reasons. Fast mana, cheap tutors, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, we don't want players to be overwhelmed with high cost cards, meaning price wise, not mana value wise.
Yeah.
We want them to start learning interaction. We want them to start learning combos.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of these challenger decks. They're not meant to take veteran players who know the game very well.
Yeah.
That can easily build a cEDH deck because they have knowledge of the game and knowledge of what cards do.
Yeah.
This is for players who are getting into the game. They want to be more competitive. This is a starting point.
Yeah.
This is where they can start learning stuff and then take that wherever they want.
Yeah, that was the goal with a lot of this, which I hope translates for the next few, because I think we're working on a canon list.
Yeah.
We're also working on, well, I'm thinking of doing the new Nugati in honor of Outlaws Conjunction. I'm still trying to tweak him a bit because like he just is a generic good stuff Sultai deck. Because most of them are, with the exception of like a few specific builds.
I'm probably more focused on the 3-color decks where they're partners. That's because partners are mostly played in cEDH format. Looking at Timnut and Crom as one of the best decks.
Yeah.
Again, this is just so people can learn what decks do.
Yeah.
This is not an overarching
it as well.
Yeah, this is not an overarching. This is what cEDH is. This is the beginning.
This is the kiddie. This is the kiddie pool of
yeah.
cEDH. This is so for me. How I set my power level is precon is 0. Anything under that's negative. Precon is at 0, and if your deck's stronger than precon, then you start going up. So this would be getting out of like precon to like kind of like upgraded precon into like the middle range of like, okay, the deck's starting to see 2 levels of being tuned. So this would be for me on my scale 4 through like 7. With obviously 8, 9, and 10 being cEDH and from cEDH and Titan level stuff. So like 9, 10 is, so if we're going by the scale of what we were playing, 0 would be the Grixis deck from Maestros from New Capenna. This deck would be the middle point of that. And then the most like super tuned version of this deck would either be Crom Tevesh or Crom Tin, obviously. This is supposed to be that middle ground where you're like, okay, I can see the lines going from point A to point B.
Perhaps we shouldn't have used the term cEDH. It would be more high-powered casual. We probably should have been using that term.
That's why you said challenger decks. That's why I wanted to use challenger decks, but our editor was just like, see, we still are like ironing out the kinks for some of the like titlings of videos and stuff like that. So it's not his fault 100%. It's very much on me for not like making that clear.
Yeah.
But like that's the thought process is like,
yeah.
For people who have no experience.
Yeah. Don't look at these decks as, oh, I can take this cEDH deck to a tournament and just mollywop on people.
Please don't do that.
This is, I want to play something higher than casual, but I don't have the funds and I want to start learning combos.
This would be good for like I don't know how many of you guys watch game nights, but like this would be good in there because a lot
Yes.
of their decks have like a lot of powerful cards, but not a lot of like point A to point B combos in
Yeah.
terms of that just win the game.
And they
These
don't
decks are
really have
built
like
on the other axis of like it doesn't have
Yeah.
all of the powerful cards, but they do have a lot of very clean and consistent combos.
yeah,
that-
yeah, it's on like turn one mana crypt into a mana mold like ad nauseam.
Yeah.
This is like, oh, we can play a high powered casual game where we can play some good expensive cards
Yes.
or like decent combo cards and just learn how to combo properly.
Yeah.
Again, to
Sequencing,
reiterate,
yeah.
this is to learn high powered games, not to take to actual tournaments.
Now you can take the time to like actually upgrade these decks, which is why they're like
Mhm.
cheap. Like the budget is 150. We might up it to 200 maybe later as a round number because 150 is a very weird number. But that's what I did math wise in terms of like you buy a precon at 50 and you add $100 to it because that's how most people do their upgrades. So we'll see.
Mhm.
But that's it for now. Stay tuned.
Yep.